everyone else, smooth ride, snapshot, etc. And then once everyone's got those done, the third skill would be camo for me. And I would just set it up as you progress like that. Camo can help, but it's more important to have repair, in my opinion, for the American mediums.
Repair is pretty
and
important.
And the gunnery as well, as they do a lot of shooting on the move.
They're very good at shooting on the move as well. Those guns don't quite fly, the shells don't seem to disperse quite as much, as far as I see. Although, you gotta admit, it does come down to a little bit about playstyle.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely.
So, just gotta throw that out there at the end. The disclaimer, as it were. So, we get a nice early spot. Miller, did you get spotted, do you remember, by this first one? I don't think you were. I think you told us that you were not spotted when you spotted him.
Yeah. I think I make it in free.
Yeah, I remember him saying that he wasn't. And that's the difference between coded optics and not coded optics.
So for those of you, if you don't know, we're watching a replay of our tournament, which we just got through as Team Plaid in the Skirmish number 4. Right now, we're chilling out on the back of a hill, and we're playing as though we're waiting to see what happens, because we know they're going to be doing something with the T-20 that they have. Because that T-20, the second we saw it, we knew something was up. The T-20 is going to flank us, it's going to do something. And the T-20 can do quite a bit of damage if it can get some free damage in, which is the whole, we could say, gimmick with bringing a medium tank like that.
Yeah, my concern when they obviously procure with the T-20 is that it's either going to be spotting for the T-29 so the T-29s can shoot from camera, which is, I will admit, the less likely option, or the T-29s are going to be spotting for the T-20 so he can shoot from camo, which is basically 15 meters behind a bush. Firing is not going to facilitate lighting you like it would if you were in front of a bush.
Yeah. Also, someone's asking which round this is. This is the finals. This is the finals. This is the first round of the finals. Against River of Blood War, who also made it all the way through the finals, of course. And right now, we're moving up into position because we don't like where we are. Miller doesn't like where we are. He's telling us we want up. So we move up to the backside of this hill, which we've seen from the reverse position. I feel like there's going to be something showing up to our left sometime. Now, I don't guess that the T-20 is actually going to be about that direction to my left, rather than instead of over there somewhere, because I think he's going to go there. And there's the T-20 coming. Doppler gets one shot off, and then the rest of us try and back off, but what he does is he hides behind this little building. I don't actually remember that that whole building is there, so I'm getting a bit confused, and then he backs off a bit, and I finally get a decent shot on him.
That's gotta hurt.
But at the same time, they move up.
Riverblood really does a good job right here. I'm already low HP when I have to drop down. That puts us in a really tough bind. We have Ruko who's splitting off in the T-20, and that means that we can't actually facilitate our 3-on-2 advantage right here. And with the lower HP, they just mug us like a good team does.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, I'm trying to keep the T-20 off you, because if I know if we turn turret, he's just going to free damage. But if we keep a target on him, something's going to happen. So, Jack gets him. I beg Jack for a repair. He's already used it on something. Takes one hit. I try and get in the way, but
We've got them.
Unfortunately, not good enough. You probably should have dropped down to the right there a little bit, or you could have gone to the left. In any event, not quite.
Yeah. Alright, now...
Yeah, the T-20 was about to reload at that point.
Yep. So here's where Doppler and I have to fight each other.
So next time I think I actually need to push you behind the carcass until your reload is full.
Alright, so here's what I was talking about. I fire on the back, like as I drive backwards. So, right there I screw up a one shot that would have been a pretty much guaranteed pen. Now at this point, I think there's no way I'm going to back off and get it bounced, so I'm just going to try and face hug him. But I neglect to remember he's a medium tank. Why didn't I remember this of all people? I get a decent shot off, but now he's going to get the final shot. And he's going to kill me, because I can't block his gun with my gun quite right, and he gets me.
The T-20 is just so low with all that depression that he puts it right into the hole.
Yeah, he can put it straight down into the hole. So we lose the first round, if I'm correct. 22-36. Yeah,
we lose the first game.
lose the first round. So second round. Yeah, so I failed a clutch. That's me, failing to clutch the match. I fuck up one shot, and that was it. That was the throw. That threw the whole game off, and we lost that first round. So pretty much if I'd made one good shot more, that would have been the round. But I don't make it, and that's the first round. Trying to launch, I guess it did.
Just so you know, that shot right there, when I was spectating you third person, the shot went way off to the left of the T20, so I'm thinking if you don't have server reticle on, you definitely want to put it on. Because the shot looked like it should have hit, but it went somewhere completely different when I was watching you.
Really? Are you sure that wasn't like your lag issue? Because
It could have been. It could
Yeah,
have. I
'cause-
was getting some.
as I see it in the
Right.
recording, it's going straight over his head, and that's how I remember it going as well.
Well, I've
Yeah,
actually
but if you don't have the reticle on, it'll draw the tracer via your client, not the server, even though the shell goes somewhere different on the server.
Well, all
I've
in
run
all, I
into
miss.
lately where replays will view one way on my computer, whereas like it looks like I shot a tank's hole, but when someone else views that same replay, they're like, hey, you just shot the guy in the bottom of the tracks. So I don't know. It sounds like I think Jack's got something there with that it pulls from your client. So
By the way, I'm going to point out, because we've actually gotten a bunch more more viewers, that we're running gun rammers, vertical stabilizers, and optics. Is that the same for you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So all three of us are running vert stab, optics. You can see my loadout of ammo down below. So I've got plenty of my gold rounds. I've got a few AP rounds because I really don't actually know if there's a real reason, but I just kind of do.
It looks better that way. Hate to have the grayed out slot.
Yeah, I hate the grayed out slot.
Also,
You guys are too picky.
pretty much every game leader to the red line here to try to avoid a possible 3-line Zerg, especially with the T20 in this case. If they run the T20 down, say, the 5-6 line, here on the mini-map on the right, potentially it can spot for their T29s, maybe set up in that C row, C3-4, or something like that. They can get some freebie damage in. I don't think they probably actually end up doing that, but even so, we drift towards the red line to keep safe from spots.
Yeah. Also, someone asks if do they think optics make a difference at that range. I think it makes a difference because on heavy tanks you actually have some pretty good spotting range, and on yeah, well, I get lit.
It's shown right here. We spotted these guys, but we weren't getting lit. Well,
Yeah.
this time we were, because they were running optics as well.
Yeah.
But
Potentially even as a, probably not, but it could have been a T20 or something. A couple times I know that we lit their guys without getting reciprocated
Yeah, I turn.
advancements there.
Yeah, that was luck, really. That's when I had that, I was like, I'm not saying anything about that because I had turret left for the instance that the T20 is to our right there, or sorry, I had my turret right, and yeah.
I believe as we rolled up, I'd actually called turret right to avoid getting smacked on the side of the turret by the T20, and we did get a little bit of a gimme there. Although it looks like Jack takes a shot.
He takes a blind shot over to the left there to make sure he's not in the bush. Recon by fire. And here I do a 79 damage. Yeah. Another 70-something roll with an HE round. And so, yeah, we roll forward. You say wait for root kill, then you're going to roll forward. We roll forward. We reveal our position, unfortunately, by getting on cap for a second, which I'm sad because we did, but at the same time, I don't think it was really avoidable.
No, I don't think it really mattered either, honestly. We needed to stay away from the 3-line and getting led by a T20 anyway, getting smacked, so...
Yeah. We also needed to be, I hated this position because what happens is we're below, just like you remember in the first, what was it, against, Net Warriors. When they were below us, it's, and here we go. Now you're blocking me, I'm like, I want back, and then, I'm at 67. I know if the T20 shoots me, he's gonna get me, but he stops looking and I back up. They jump down on us.
You get a nice shot on the TV there, to be honest.
That was my desperation, like, oh god, I've gotta not lose, or something. And so now we actually have Millard in clutch mode. So check this out. Millard clutches all of these bounces.
Beautiful carcass right here.
I know, just my body, perfect for bouncing shells. So then Jack gets into position, and you start moving up because you realize, oh god, here they come. And except I'll remind everyone watching that the comms are way calmer than that.
We actually stay pretty calm on the comms, believe it or not.
I think I might be the most energetic one, and that's just because that's the way I am.
Everybody needs a bunny.
I'm a bunny. All right,
Great
so
shot by Jack there.
really good shot, uphill too. So that's surprising. It's those are really hard shots to make.
The thing with me on top of the hill there, when actually Jack is able to take his shot, he puts an amazing shot in, and then I'm waiting to see if I can get a shot on. Is that Striker? I can't actually read it from the replay.
Striker's on the right, and Savagey is on the left right now. So Striker gets like one more shot you just saw right on Jack. Then you guys shift around. So Jack, and they actually give you the ground. They don't wait for you to roll up and wait for your reticle and then take a free shot. They actually back off. Striker backs off and gives you ground. So you guys kind of get to go over and maneuver for free at this point. So
The cool thing is this round over by the lighthouse is actually the easiest to work. If you see where the little pathway goes up there, and the ground texture, it kind of flattens out a little bit, so no longer are you rolling over with, say, your hull exposed but not able to shoot. You're actually pretty much able to fight from hull down when you get over there. So in a second, I think I flex over more towards where Jack is.
yeah, so you start to flex over more towards Jack. I'm going to speed up for half a second. Alright, they give ground again. Jack gets a free up, and then they trade. 273 for a 300 roll. So Jack gets a nice high roll on the, on his shot into Striker. Savagey starts to take the primary position, the aggressive position, the forward position is between the two of them, and the two of you keep playing around. Now at this point, you guys actually are lower on health. If they'd pushed into you straight up, they probably could have won the DPM match. But
Especially if they push Savagey first, because we can't just double tap him.
yeah. However, you have to remember that if you guys had the hull down, you could have gotten free damage, and that could have evened up the damage. So this is effectively this is really an even situation. So Jack has a good hull down. He's lowered the ground though, so there is an advantage. Millard, you get a good 376. That is a really good roll. And then Jack gets his free hit. Savagey's made a mistake. He's backing off now. Striker takes the main position. Millard, you get another amazing shot, by the way. Like, when you're taking these shots, they're really great. I wish I could see from your reticle viewpoint, because I want to see how you're firing and how you're maneuvering, because you really get these good shots and you don't take anything for them. You start to go around now, because you guys know that the victory is at hand.
High HP, we can push in. I'm actually above 2 average rolls at this point. I don't want to eat 2 shells, but I know that I probably can with some good survivability, honestly. Roll over and pop somebody regardless of the outcome.
But at the same time, you're not going to waste an advantage position, and you're going to slow play.
Exactly.
Also, do you know if those were cupola shots or they were hull shots you were putting into Striker and Savagey?
I put one around the mantlet to the right, and I believe I put one on top. I get max rolled by Savagey. Irony right there.
Yeah.
And roll around, but pick him up.
And see, then Jack gets a track shot on Savagey. Savagey repairs it immediately, his kid. And then Millard comes in for the final kill shot. So that's 1 for 1. 1 for 1. For War versus Team Plaid. So now we go on to Battle 3 of the Skirmish, the finals with War versus Team Plaid. So, here we go. As soon as I load it. Okay, so here we go. Now we're still confident about our loadout. We know that we can do this with 3 229s. Now, is this another one where we lose? Did we lose this one as well?
I believe we win. This is the 3rd game, if I remember correctly. Yes, we picked this one up, I believe.
Okay.
This is the game where Jack blew the usage of his repair kit pointlessly and almost dies at the end. So we'll get to watch that in all of its ingloriousness, and yet he still clutches the victory. So I can't rag him too hard, I guess.
Yeah. So-
I wanted to ram him.